Hello, this is the Tradesight U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Thursday the 25th and Friday the 26th of August 2016. Hope you're having a good week. Things definitely slowed up here. We had worse volume in the first 30 minutes than we've had all year so far, although we did wrap up the day somehow 1.5 billion shares, so it seems to have picked up. But overall, volume was still light compared to what we've seen. The move in the afternoon is where the volume occurred. That was a little unusual to see that pickup, but like I said, overall, you'll see the number in a minute. It's not great. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market. Now completed 9 bars up towards the seeker count. No sign of recycle there. You'd have to hold up here in your highs for a while to get to 13 probably, although you'll see that on the NDX when we see it in a minute. Little rollover here for the session. Not a big deal. Let's take a look at the other stuff. We got crude oil lost $1.30 to 46.80. That's right on the 10-day moving average on the daily chart. Gold lost 18.40. That's slipping under the lows of the last couple of weeks. The total, the S&P lost 11.46. Not too bad. It still puts us right where we've been for a month plus now. Here's the interesting one. The NASDAQ 100 down 35 points to 47.83.49. What's interesting here, though, is that 13 sell signal back a couple days ago. Well, over a week ago now. The risk line, that pink risk line that goes with that, is the exact wall twice. We've not been able to close above it, and that means that is still in place, so that signal is working perfectly. SOX down 7-ish or so. Biotech's down 104. That's a bigger number there. That's kind of a big move for the biotechs. You got the VIX up $1.07. That's a good sign for volatility. Also usually leads to a downward market, obviously. Trading another high reading at 1.46, so you got 1.07 for the 10-day moving average, which is not a signal. So here's the volume. I mean, it was tracking for the first 2 hours. We were just as slow as could be. It's tracking for lighter than the last 2 days, but instead picked up late and got to 1.5 billion shares on the NASDAQ. Here's the advanced decline ratio, negative 952. That's the worst in a week in terms of market breadth. Negative 1221 here on the New York, also the worst in a week. First day down, as they say. Google, which had that 13 sell signal 2 weeks ago, inching lower or $3 lower. Apple down 82 cents, showing signs of rolling over. Amazon down $5.20. Still near highs, let's face it. Netflix down 76 cents. That's a blip. And Tesla, which sold off a little bit the other day, midday, still holding in a very narrow range, though, overall here. Might be a short under the lows of the last month here in Tesla for the report. All right, let's take a look at the intraday action. Here are 5-minute candles. ES, like I said, the early action, small gap down, headed up. In the first hour is just flat. Then we finally started to drift and drifted down about 2, 3, 4 points. By lunchtime, we were back in the middle of the range, so we were sitting in a, what is that? That's basically a 6-point range for the first 4 hours of the day. And then after lunch, they sold it off a little bit and dipped and then bounced back right at the close. So, overall, it looked like a wasted session in the afternoon. Gave us a little more than you would have thought. Here's the NQ side, though. This is what's amazing. Look at that once again. The 13 buy signal on the futures right there at the low late in the day. Got the bounce right off of it. I mean, it doesn't get any more powerful than that signal. First, it gives you, let's be clear, first it gives you on the daily chart the top on the NASDAQ side, and then intraday it gives you the bottom on a 5-minute chart. That is just unbelievable. We don't do reports typically or previews like this for Friday. We certainly won't do that here in the summer and going into a Friday in August. So let's look at the data that's left to come out this week. Thursday morning, initial and continuing jobless claims and durable orders, an hour before the bell, and then the natty gas inventory is an hour into the market. That's the weekly number. Friday morning, an hour before the bell, we've got the second look at GDP. That's not a big deal. We got the first look last month. That's the bigger deal. And then Michigan sentiment, final number for August. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern time. We used to say 9:55 or whenever the kids got up. Nowadays, they're making them get up and get the number out by 10. So nothing major in terms of data left this week. It's not an options expiration. It's August Friday is what it is. And then we're heading into next week. We're heading into the end of the month of August. So just to give you a preview of what's to come, there's a lot of data next week, including unemployment rate next Friday, and trade balance, I think, is in there, and Chicago PMI, consumer confidence. All these things are coming out. But to put next week into perspective, given the fact that this week did not really see the pickup that we got last year, people are still out. Let's put it in perspective. What do we expect for next week? Well, Wednesday is end of month, so we know that day is probably going to be a waste. All the stocks are pegged to the prices that the big funds want them to print at for the end of month statements. So if they're gone Wednesday, is it likely they're going to come back Thursday when they were going to be gone Friday anyways ahead of the long Labor Day weekend? Nobody's around on Friday. So And I don't know that Thursday is going to be a day that they come back, which means any chance of excitement next week is probably Tuesday. And even that's questionable when you're that close to the end of the month. This may be it. We may be floating like this straight through until Labor Day, but we will see. We'll be showing up every day just in case. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal 12. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so, although at this point, I would wait until after Labor Day to do it. Have a great trading weekend.